Right, you ready? So, Suzanne wrote down verbatim, when did I mention best intentions, question mark. And what follows is a series of voice notes which I'll just allow this Megaboom speaker to play. This Megaboom speaker is one of many paths I wish to follow, because I intended to bring this to the ski trip. Curries a number of parties along the way who definitely didn't help that me achieve that process of just me trying to turn up and be a good human being to myself and others. Yeah, end of lecturing for now. Apparently, I'm getting. Oh, I'm getting a call. Right, yeah, universal credit. Gotta go. See you later. Hello. Hi, Veronica. I'm well. I'm good, thank you. I must let you know that I'm currently recording to myself, um, like a YouTube video, and you just happen to have called in the process. So, um, um, at 2 o'clock, is that okay? Yeah, if we can speak at 2 o'clock, that'd be great. All right. Um, thanks for see you soon. Cheers. Bye. Okay. Yes. So yeah, I need to speak to Veronica at 2 o'clock, which is a universal credit claim that I am pursuing needlessly for some reason, which I will later have to defend needlessly. It's just observations, and in terms of observations, please just observe. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's start playing these messages. Um, why not? Time is of the essence.
Suze, come on. Just the fact that you are
Lots of
defending
love,
your
people.
position, despite any
I
words you're
will
using,
hope to see you
is
soon.
telling me you don't have to use
Let's
words
just go.
to articulate your position. You can tell somebody a
Let it
message
go.
despite any words you use. You are doing anything other than going, yes, I'm sorry. I didn't consider the fact that you have been repeatedly trying to engage for a year. All I'm doing is observing your distress and telling you what I already knew, which was that I was only trying to help. As such, you are telling me you only had your best intentions despite your words. I'm angry. As a result, I wasn't angry until you did this. All you have to do is say, I'm really sorry I didn't consider your position, James. I'm really sorry. And I will return exactly the same thing, and we'll get better. You, like everyone else, is adopting a stubborn position, and I'm returning it. Leave me alone or apologise. It's that simple. It's part of being a human. Human! I'm sorry for the angry tone, but we're fucking humans for a year. I was not this angry until I woke up. Sleep is something that I find so hard to achieve, and I was only able to achieve it after, yet again, clearing my thoughts and pouring out good efforts. Once more, I've woken up to no one offering me an apology. That's all I need. An apology for people having failed to consider things from my position for not only nearly a year, but for my whole life. If you're willing to do that, that will help me get better. If you choose to continue defending your position, whether you like it or not, you are only actively hurting your friends. You're in possession of this information. Either leave me alone or apologise. I have, throughout my life, done exactly what I'm asking people to do. Even if you don't mean it, even if you weren't personally involved, just apologise. Up front, you gain people's trust. It facilitates engagement. What you're doing does the opposite. I have many times admitted to fault that I had nothing to do with, even at times I wasn't even born, just to simply secure the trust of an idiot animal in order to facilitate a dialogue. I observe my own behaviour in others. You don't, you idiot animal. I'm sorry for the hostile tone, but you are being an idiot animal based on your observable behaviour. I once trusted you. All I see is an idiot animal. You can change this in an instant, like I have. Introspect, reflect on your own behaviour, and apologise to people you've hurt. That's it. Oh my God, Suzanne. Oh my God. I'm sorry for the hostile tone, but you're an adult. Work this out. I'm not going to apologise for being righteously angry at idiotic, animalistic adults who I once trusted. I've already trusted you all financially and emotionally, and I'm just asking you to return the favour. That's it, for a short time, and I'll pay you back. For fuck's sake, I don't deserve this. Again, all you have to do is either pick up the phone or leave me a voice note. I'm not doing anything. I've no one to talk to. The fact that you have thought the words, when did I mention best intentions, and choose to write them down when the technology exists for you to simply record and speak those very same words, is a choice that you have made. You've chosen to deny me the same message delivered in a human fashion in order to make you comfortable at my expense. Observation. That's all I'm doing. I'm observing your behaviour. It is selfish and it's actively hurting me. Why did you do this? You told me that you cared for me, but your behaviour tells me that you care for yourself more than you care for me. That's just it. As soon as you start showing me that you care for me first more than you, I'll trust you, I'll invest in you, I'll repay that faith, I'll apologise for all of my conduct, and we'll get better. That's just how a dispute is resolved. Who might know this? I know somebody who's worked for over 7 years in dispute resolution and customer services for the Financial Ombudsman Service. Me! The actual me! That I shouldn't have to repeatedly tell people about. It exists. Innocent until proven guilty. No. Guilty until proven innocent, based on the evidence. For me, anyway, only. If you're going to, either via text or in person on Tuesday, adopt this tone and position, no, I actively don't wish to see you. You will make us both worse. If you want to help anyone in distress, even if you don't believe it, accept their reality for a time. If that means being a punch bag or a sponge, deal with it. Short of them actually physically violently attacking you. If you fear them doing this, please process those thoughts, recognise whether this person has a history of violent conduct, which I very much don't. Consider whether this person has a history of doing anything else, such as charitable, virtuous conduct, even at a time of distress, which I very much do, and realise that you fearing me is entirely your problem. It not only doesn't stand up to the evidence suggests that I'm never going to be dangerous, based on my history of never having been dangerous to myself or others. You bringing fear to a distressed person, like you bringing fear to a distressed animal, is making me and that animal worse. You know this already, and you continue to do what makes you comfortable at my expense. You are doing this, therefore, I currently hate you. You can change this. I'm sorry I once trusted you. And again, can we just both collectively observe what we have both done here? I observe me articulating, honestly, all of my angry thoughts, going back through those angry thoughts, realising that if they were angry and that I needed to actually engage with some of the things that you said, which I later did on your terms in writing. Have you done exactly what I have already done for you? Listen back to the behaviour, already demonstrated, clarified it, and responded to what the other person has said. No, you haven't. I've said many things that you just quite literally haven't responded to at all. You have instead chosen to defend your position. This is just an observation I've drawn from it the only analysis I feel any rational, reasonable adult should. If you draw any other conclusion, I don't trust you. You can change this. Until you change it, I don't want to see or speak to you. I'm sorry. 14 minutes it took me to process being furiously angry, which I didn't experience until you and others chose to follow the same path. I wasn't feeling that anger until you chose to actively, stubbornly, repeatedly defend your position. Having now experienced that anger, 14 minutes is all it took me to process that anger. I'm still angry, but I'm working through it. This is how easily you can train yourself out of stupid, behaviours. If you observe them. If you don't, it can last a whole lifetime. Please, quite categorically, apologise immediately and encourage as many other humans that I've interacted with that you know or are able to be in contact with as soon as possible, and I'll get better. If you do those things, I will get better, and if you keep me company or find some way of finding other humans keeping me company on a regular basis, I'll get better within hours. I've even shown this to work repeatedly throughout my life, and especially throughout the last 9-10 months of the worst existence of my life. Much evidence exists to support what I'm doing. Humans, in receipt of this information and evidence, I observe continually, despite whatever words they use, defending their position. The fact that all of these other human beings turn up to a human being in distress and choose to defend their own position means they are actively, despite whatever thoughts or emotions they might bring to the table, they are actively making me worse than I was before. It's as simple as that. You're in possession of this information, process it, work it out, or leave me alone. 15 minutes. That's it. Observing the timestamps from me being furious to calm. That's all it takes. I've processed this. I've had to do it via a series of voice notes because nobody will quite literally interact with me. You accuse me of not engaging, but based on the observable evidence, that is statistically, definitively the opposite of what I've been doing. I've been nothing but trying to engage. That you experience upset and fear is an observation. Please observe things first, then draw your conclusions. Quite literally, I do not seek to speak to any human being alive, including the ones that I once trusted, loved, and have very much spent an awful lot of time, money, and effort and faith in. Any of you, I don't wish to interact with a single other human being alive unless that human being is offering me an apology well overdue based on the observable evidence, considering my efforts, plus financial support. That's the only terms in which I wish to interact with another human being. Because that's the only terms that are going to ultimately lead to me surviving. And that's all I wish to do. I'm not going to apologise for this. If apparently I can no longer trust any of the humans I've already trusted in, I need to speak to a lawyer. I'm just observing. Alone. I encourage you to do the same. It's horrible, but it makes you a better person. What you're doing is making neither of us a better person. Observations. I don't understand you, or me. No, I do understand me. Fully. I don't understand any of you. As such, apparently, I now need legal advice. I think that's the end of my thought process. If you can, in receipt of information, help me, then you will help me. And you can help me. But I very much anticipate you doing exactly what you and others have done all along, which is to, in receipt of all of this information, just wait until there's a slight flaw and only seize on that. Only. First. That is your first response. Whether you like it or not, despite all of the weight of evidence I've sent to you, your first response was to just pick out a tiny flaw in all of the weight of evidence I've sent you and deliver it in a hostile, written, robotic fashion. That is your response. I observe this. It's up to you to change that. It's not up to me. In terms of observations, all I observe in front of me is, repeatedly, for a lifetime, especially the last 10 months, is I observe me already having poured out all of my best emotional, financial, and other efforts. I observe humans continually offering the exact same response that you have continually kept doing. You have gone on the front foot. You have observed a distressed human being, which, frankly, you shouldn't need to have brought to your door. If you were a considerate, compassionate human being, you would recognise this human being in distress by virtue of just having regularly checked in on them. I'm sorry I didn't go myself to every single individual's door and tell them exactly how I'm feeling at all times. I apologise for that. I'm not sorry for that, because you're all capable of sustaining a relationship and inferring things for yourself, as I have done already. You are all capable of doing things that I have already done. I seek only for you lot to return things that I have already done for you. And you are in possession of this information, actively choosing not to do this, but to state in writing, despite all of the wealth of options available to you, you're just writing down your internal thought process. Please, just go and consider that thought process alone, like I have done. Once you're comfortable with it, don't write it down. Speak it in voice note form, or present it to me face to face. Grow up, like I have. If you don't grow up first, you cannot help others, despite your best intentions. It's impossible. I say it's impossible. You obviously can help somebody without having grown up. It's just that the most efficient way to your recovery and the other person's recovery is for all adults to just grow up and accept what is in front of them, whether they like it or not, and especially if it paints them in a bad light. Humanity. I observe that being humanity. If you dispute this, please gather as much evidence as I have. Please reconsider that evidence as I have, and then withdraw from the conclusion. As I have. You've done the opposite. You've reached a conclusion before considering the evidence. As such, you are, by definition, stupid and animalistic. I'm very sorry for the hostile tone and the weird, this is just part of my brain processing. I urge you to allow any brain you observe to process. That's it. If that brain's processing causes violence to themselves or others, at that point intervene. Short of that, just allow it. That is my advice. Whether you choose to listen to the advice or not, I don't know. But I've listened to that advice. I've followed it. I've practiced it. It's made myself and others better. I won't stop doing what is observably making me better. Yeah. I'll just wrap that up again with a calm tone, which is the only tone that you should ever adopt when approaching anybody in distress. Goodbye, Suzanne, currently. It's up to you to change this position. It's not up to me. It has always been up to me, and I'm tired and exhausted by this process. Please help your friend. It's as simple as that. I am, once again, despite my best efforts, unhappy, sad, and alone, staring at the end of my finances. I don't understand this. There you go. That's it. That's the end of my brain processing its thoughts. I'm just being honest. I urge and encourage you to do the same thing and encourage others forthwith. That's the end. See you later, Sue. Just look at the timestamps. Look at how I was behaving before you turned up, how I've behaved since you've turned up, and how long it's taken me to train myself out of distressing thoughts alone. Just observe this. Apply the same process, and you will make yourself and any other human being better instantly. That is a formula that I have given to you, that others have given to me. If you choose to do anything other than apply this formula, it is up to you to deal with the consequences. I'm sorry. End of. Goodbye.
Sounds like I'm done telling Suzanne off. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's me done. Please, everybody, just observe and allow human behaviour. I'll see you later.